Hey everyone, I'm sorry about the delay. We had a little bit of technical difficulties. So I'm Erin with Balance Gym in Washington, D.C., coming to you live from my bedroom at a slightly funny angle. Hopefully you can see most of what you need to. I just want to quickly go over a few things. I have a playlist for this class. It's on Spotify. You can follow me on Spotify at Erin G Yoga. Just follow me. You go to your profile, you hit some things up in the right hand corner, find friends, ERING Yoga, and I have a 30-minute yoga playlist there for you to use. Another quick thing is I'll be demonstrating for most of the time, but I might be turning my body to face the screen. No need for you to turn your body unless I verbally cue you to do that as well. Make sure you've got 2 feet around each side of your mat. And lastly, I'm going to be leaving you in Shavasana, so go ahead and stay there until you're done. I recommend at least 2 minutes to leave yourself there. But let's go ahead and get started. Sorry that we're starting late. And so go ahead and get started in child's pose. So bring your big toes to touch at the back of your mat. Send your knees out wide and send your arms long in front of you. Go ahead and take some open mouth exhales on your own. Just settling in. Take a deep inhale, fill up all the way to the bottom of your belly. Open mouth exhale, let something go. Another one of those. Deep inhale, fill up. Open mouth exhale, let it go. Deep inhale, biggest breath of your day so far. This time hold at the top. Then open mouth exhale, sigh it out. Seal your lips and begin to cultivate your Ujjayi breath. So breathe in and out through your nose and constrict the back of your throat to create an audible oceanic sound on both your inhales as well as your exhales. Still relax your face, relax your jaw. Take a moment to notice the 4 corners of your mat. This is your space for the next 20 minutes or so, and I encourage you to let go of everything outside of that space and just give yourself this time. This class is for all levels. The Vinyasa Power Yoga class. We're going to get you your heart rate going. We're going to loosen you up and then stretch you out a bit, and most importantly of all, just take you away from everything going on in your life right now. Moving with your breath, on your next inhale, come to tabletop. All 4, stack your shoulders over your wrists, stack your hips over your knees, and then gaze down towards the top of your mat. Untuck your toes, release your shins towards your mat. On an inhale, cow pose. Lift your gaze, drop your belly, tip your tailbone up towards the ceiling. Exhale, cat pose. Bring your chin to your chest, tuck your tailbone under, gaze towards your belly button. Inhale, cow pose. Exhale, cat. Tuck your tailbone even more. Inhale, cow. Use your entire inhale to get there. Exhale, cat. Inhale, return to a neutral tabletop position. Exhale, tuck your toes. Take an inhale here. Exhale, downward facing dog. Send your hips high. So pedal out your feet. Take any movements you need. Just making sure that blender didn't set off my staff there. So then settle into stillness. So press into your hands as if you're going to push the floor away from you. Tip your tailbone straight up towards the ceiling, and then release your heels even closer towards your mat. Maybe invite a bend to your knees to help create an inverted V shape with your body. Release your chest closer towards your thighs. Inhale, gaze forward. Exhale, ragdoll pose. Walk your feet up behind your wrists. So toe pull your feet apart at least hip width distance. Bend your knees generously. Collapse your thighs on top, your belly on top of your thighs, and relax your head and neck. You have an option here to grab for opposite elbow with opposite hand, an option to sway from side to side. Whatever you do, let your head hang even heavier. Find your way to center. Release your hands to the ground. Toe your feet together. Big toes touch a sliver between your heels. Bend your knees. Bring your chin to your chest. On an inhale, slowly rise up to stand. Bring your shoulders, head, and neck up last. And then exhale, roll your shoulders back and down. Inhale, bring your hands to heart center. And exhale, stand at attention. Close your eyes. Take a deep inhale, fill up. Open mouth, exhale, let it go. Another one of those. Deep inhale. Open mouth, exhale. Seal your lips, release your hands back down by your sides, and gently open your eyes. Inhale, mountain pose. Sweep your arms overhead. So spiral your pinkies in to face one another, and then ground down evenly through all four corners of each foot. Tuck your tailbone under, and see if you can release your shoulders away from your ears. Take an inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Hinge at your hips, bring your hands to heart center all the way down to your mat. You can bend your knees here. We're just warming up, and I'll adjust the camera here. Once you're down there, shift your weight into the balls of your feet. Draw your belly button towards your spine, and relax your head and neck. Let everything roll off your hips, roll off your shoulders. Inhale, halfway lift. Lift your shoulders to hip height. Release your hands to your shins. Gaze down towards the top of your mat here, working to create that long, flat back. Inhale, shift your weight forward so your hips are over your ankles, and send energy from your tailbone through the crown of your head. Take one more inhale here. Exhale, high plank. Plant your hands shoulder width distance apart. Step your feet hip width distance apart. So you work to create a straight line from your heels through the crown of your head. So maybe lift or lower your hips so that they're in line with your shoulders. Inhale, shift forward 1 to 2 inches. Come to your tiptoes. Exhale, low plank. Bend your elbows. Hug them into your sides as you lower down halfway. Inhale, upward facing dog. Come to the tops of your feet. Straighten your arms. Shine forward. Notice my legs are lifted. One more inhale here. Exhale, downward facing dog. Tuck your toes. Send your hips high. So that's our Sunday flow. We'll flow one breath to one movement. Inhale, gaze towards the top of your mat. Exhale, travel forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Create a long, flat back. Exhale, forward fold, release. Inhale, mountain pose. Root down to rise up. Exhale, forward fold. Hands through heart center. Inhale, halfway lift. Send energy forward. Exhale, high to low plank. Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog, shine forward. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, gaze to the top of your space. Exhale, travel forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, mountain pose, root down to rise up. Exhale, forward fold, hands through heart center. Inhale, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, high to low plank. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Moving on, inhale, send your right leg high, three-legged down dog. So point your toes down towards the ground. Drop that right hip down so it's in line with your left. Take one more inhale here. Exhale, low lunge. Draw your knee towards your chest. Gaze to where you're going and plant your hand between your hands with control. So stack your knee directly over your ankle. Maybe you need to toe your foot around to get that alignment. Engage your core. Maybe begin to hover your hands here. Inhale, high crescent. Rise up. Stack your shoulders over your hips. So work to square your hips towards the front of your mat. Lift your left heel to snack over your left toes to help send that left hip forward. Draw your right hip back. You can invite a bend to your back knee to help send your left hip forward, as well as tuck your tailbone. And then knit your rib cage together. One more inhale here. Exhale, warrior two. Open up. Parallel the knife edge of your left foot with the short edge of your mat, and then bend deep into your right knee until your glute engages. Notice if your knee passes your ankle. If so, go ahead and widen your stance so your knee stacks directly over your ankle. Soft gaze over your fingertips. Shift your shoulders back to stack directly over your hips. Then press into the knife edge of both feet. Engage or feel out those stretches in your little hip flexors. Inhale, reverse triangle. Liberate your front leg. Keep a puff of air behind your right knee. Left hand down, right arm up. Square your hips and shoulders towards the side. And then create a straight line of energy from your right heel through your right fingertips. Work your right shoulder on top of left. Think of creating angles with your body. One more inhale. Exhale, high to low plank. Cartwheel your arms down, bend into your right knee. You have an option for ekapada here if you want to hover your right foot as you lower down. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, send your left leg high, three-legged down dog. Same setup. Dial that left pinky toe down to drop your left hip in line with your right. Maybe release your right heel closer towards your mat. Take an inhale. Exhale, low lunge. Guide your right knee close to your chest, plant it between your hands. Same setup. Toe your foot around, stack your knee directly over your ankle. Engage your core. Inhale, high crescent. Lift your right heel to stack over your right toes and send your right hip forward. Draw your left hip back. You can invite that bend to your right knee to tuck your tailbone under and draw your belly button towards your spine. One more inhale. Exhale, warrior two. Open up. Press into the knife edge of your right foot. Bend deep into your left knee. Engage your arms. Reach through both hands. Soft gaze over your front fingers. Tuck your tailbone under and then shift your shoulders slightly back to stack directly over your hips. Inhale, reverse triangle. Straighten your front leg. Release your right arm down, left arm up. Engage your inner thighs as if you're going to pull your mat together with your heels. Then create that straight line of energy from your left heel through your fingertips. Work your left shoulder on top of right. One more inhale. Exhale, high to low plank. Cartwheel your arms to the ground. Option for ekapada if you took it on the other side. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, gaze to the top of your mat. Exhale, travel forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, chair pose. Bend your knees, sit low. Sweep your arms up, biceps by your ears. So sink your weight into your heels. You should be able to wiggle and see all 10 toes here. Squeeze your thighs together. Tuck your tailbone under. Then bring a bit of an up dog to your chest to create a lightning bolt shape with your body. Inhale. Exhale, chair plane. Only your arms move to Dakasana arms. Sweep your arms back behind you, palms face down. Then engage your arms. Reach your fingers back. Draw your pinkies together behind you an inch or two more. Inhale, power chair. Reach forward. Sink your hips even lower, maybe in line with your knees. Option here for a balance challenge if you want to come onto your toes. Lower your hips even more in line with your knees if you do. One more inhale. Exhale, forward fold, release. Inhale, halfway lift. Create a flat back. Exhale, high to low plank. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, send your right leg high, three-legged down dog. Exhale, low lunge. Inhale, high crescent, rise up. Exhale, warrior two, flowing one breath to one movement. Inhale, reverse triangle, liberate that front leg. Exhale, high to low plank, bend into your front knee. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, send your left leg high, three-legged down dog. Exhale, low lunge. Inhale, high crescent, rise up with control. Exhale, warrior two, open up, take up space. Inhale, reverse triangle. Create those angles with your body. Exhale, high to low plank. Option for ekapada if you're taking it. Inhale, upward facing dog, shine forward. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, gaze forward. Exhale, travel to the top of your space. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, chair pose, Utkatasana, sit low. Exhale, chair plane, only your arms move, stay low. Inhale, power chair, you have an option for tiptoes. Exhale, forward fold, release. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, high to low plank, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Last round, inhale, send your right leg high, three-legged down dog. Exhale, low lunge. Inhale, high crescent. Exhale, warrior two, Virabhadrasana two. Inhale, reverse triangle, find those angles. Exhale, high to low plank. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, send your left leg high, three-legged down dog. Exhale, low lunge. Inhale, high crescent. Exhale, warrior two, open up. Inhale, reverse triangle, square off towards the side. Exhale, high to low plank. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, gaze forward. Exhale, travel to the top of your space. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, chair pose. Listen for the change. Exhale, chair plane. Inhale, bring your hands to heart center. Exhale, prayer twist. Hook your left elbow on the outside of your right knee. Twist to your right. So come back to your breath here. Use your inhales to find length. Exhales to twist deeper. Spiral your chest open towards the side wall. Then draw your left knee back in line with your right if it's creeping forward. Press your palms together, create that straight line, elbow to elbow. One more inhale. Exhale, gorilla pose. Release your hands towards your mat. So toe your feet apart at least hip width distance. Bend your knees generously. Scoop your hands underneath your feet with your palms facing up so your toes reach your wrist crease. Bend your knees. Bend your elbows. Release the crown of your head straight down towards the ground. So you're just going to hang around like a big gorilla. You can wiggle your toes if you want to give yourself a little wrist massage. Gently release your hands from underneath your feet. Toe your feet back together to touch. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, chair pose. We've been here before. Exhale, chair plane. Inhale, bring your hands to heart center. Exhale, prayer twist to the left. Hook your right elbow on the outside of your left knee. Press your palms together, find that straight line elbow to elbow. Then use your inhales to find length. Exhales to spiral your chest open to the side. Think of stacking your left shoulder on top of right. Draw your belly off your thighs. And draw your right knee back in line with your left if it's creeping up. One more inhale. Exhale, big toe pose. Release your hands to your mat, toe your feet apart, hip width distance. This time find your peace fingers, wrap them around your big toes. So bend your elbows to draw your upper torso down. And then if you would like to add in a hamstring stretch, you can straighten your legs as much as little as you need to find that sweet spot. Gently release your hands. Toe your feet back together to touch. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, high to low plank. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, send your right leg high, three-legged down dog. Exhale, low lunge. Inhale, warrior one. So step your back foot in about a foot or two and point your toes at a 45-degree angle towards your left top corner of your mat. Rise up, stack your shoulders over your hips. Then work to square your hips towards the front of your mat. So you may need to widen or shorten your stance to square your hips. You can also manually adjust by drawing that left hip forward. Once your hips are squared, bend into your front knee, knit your ribcage back towards your belly, or back towards your spine. One more inhale here. Exhale, interlace your hands behind your low back. Inhale, puff up your chest. Exhale to humble warrior. Lower your right shoulder to the inside of your right knee. Draw your right hip back in line with your left. Then release your gaze to your back heel. Hands go up and overhead. You can press your palms together if you want more of a shoulder rinse here. Inhale, rise back up to warrior one with control. Exhale, warrior two, open up. Inhale, square parallel your feet with the short edges of your mat. Then exhale, wide-legged forward fold. Slowly lower down with a flat back. Your feet are parallel or pigeon-toed. Once you get down to the ground, you can release your hands to your mat. You can grab for your ankles. Relax your head and neck. Tip your tailbone up towards the ceiling. Shift your hips forward so that they're directly between your ankles. Inhale, wide-legged halfway lift. Bring your hands back underneath your shoulders. Find the flat back. Exhale, low lunge towards the front of your mat. Inhale, three-legged down dog. Send your right leg high. Exhale, runner's lunge. Bring your right foot to the outside of your right hand. Toe your right foot forward towards the front of your mat so your ankle is in front or closer to the front of your mat than your knee. You can stay lifted and relax your head and neck. You can drop down to your back knee. You can also come down to your forearms. Once you find what you need today, relax your head and neck and send your exhales to areas that you're feeling sensation. Maybe there's something you can let go in your shoulders and that back leg. Inhale, come back to your palms. And exhale, press back to downward facing dog, but with control. Tuck your back toes. And then sweep your right foot back to meet your left. Inhale, send your left leg high. Exhale, low lunge. Inhale, warrior one. So this time step your right foot in about a foot or two. Point your right toes at a 45-degree angle towards the right corner of your mat. And then work to square your hips. So send your right hip forward, draw your left hip back. Option to manually adjust here as well. Bend into your left knee, knit your rib cage together, and release your shoulders away from your ears. Take one more inhale. Exhale, interlace your hands behind your low back. Inhale, puff up your chest. Exhale, humble warrior. Bring your left shoulder to the inside of your left knee. Gaze towards your back heel. And send your arms up and overhead once again. Option to press your palms together if you want more of a shoulder rinse. And try to release into this pose. Inhale, warrior one with control. Slowly come right back up. Exhale, warrior two. Readjust your stance. Inhale, star pose. So bring your heels in, toes out, and take up space. So press into your feet. Send your chest up towards the ceiling and spark through all 10 fingers. One more inhale here. Exhale, low lunge. Gently guide your hips around. Come to that low lunge. Inhale, three-legged down dog. Send your left leg high. Exhale, runner's lunge. Left foot comes to the outside of your left hand. Toe your left foot forward so your ankle's in front of your knee. And then try to take the same form you took on the other side. Maybe you dropped down to your knee. Maybe you came down to your forearms. Do whatever you did on the other side. Once you find that sweet spot, send your exhales to areas you're feeling sensation. Inhale, return to your palms. Then exhale, downward facing dog again with control. So tuck your back toes, sweep your left foot back to meet your right. Take an inhale here. Open mouth exhale. Drop down to your knees. Send your legs long in front of you. And go ahead and find your way down to your back. Hug your knees into your chest. Grab for opposite elbows. Bring your forehead to your knees. Squeeze everything, your face, your fingers, your toes. Then exhale, Shavasana. Bring your heels out to the edges of your mat, hands down beside you, palms facing up. Close your eyes. I'll leave you here. Remember to gently bring yourself out of this when you're ready. Hopefully I'll see you guys next week or at another class this week. Till then, stay well.